What's up, you guys? I'm not amazing, I'm just mediocre. Welcome back to the channel and this Marvel Avengers video, and today we're going to talk about a couple of ways you can make your Captain America practically unstoppable. And it actually doesn't have anything to do with what gear you have equipped. It has to do with what specialties and masteries you have chosen on your skill tree. There's a couple that give Brooklyn Brawler the ability to execute takedowns when enemies are at low health, and then when you execute those takedowns, it's going to add a few more seconds to Brooklyn Brawler. So if you have an entire squad of goons that you're trying to go up against, and you start Brooklyn Brawler at the beginning of the fight, you can go through an entire wave of people executing takedowns after takedown after takedown, and by the time the whole fight is over, you'll still have half a minute worth of Brooklyn Brawler left over. Or if you don't, you'll have it recharged all the way and it'll be ready to get right back into the fight. But before we get into that, I want to clue you in on a couple of Cap's intrinsic attacks that are vital for facing off against enemies with overshields. First is Commander's Parry at the bottom of the light attack skill tree, and it can both counter an attack as well as follow up with a big shield bash. And then after that we have Commander's Call at the bottom of the heavy attack skill tree. And this not only gives a big shield bash, but also gives you a defensive buff, reducing all incoming damage by 50% or 15% rather, and then reducing the cost of blocking enemy attacks with your shield by 50%. And this attack will actually totally stagger and knock back enemies that still have their overshields on, sending them flying across the room and giving you the opportunity to attack them while they're still laying on the ground or even flying in the air. And then after that, of course, you'll want to follow up with your Brooklyn Brawler with this infinite takedown capacity by using CQC Specialist, which lets me perform takedowns on critically wounded enemies, and Adrenaline Rush, which extends the duration of Brooklyn Brawler by 3 seconds for every single one of those takedowns. And it's incredible how this simple pair of specializations together make for an unstoppable Captain America. And as you can see from the footage on your screen right now, you can wipe the floor with entire squads worth of goons and clear floors of the hive in half the amount of time that I feel like it takes me with some of the other heroes. And then you might notice that by the end of this hive, the entire floor is covered with heroic orbs. Well, that's because I have a specific mastery that makes it so heroic orbs spawn after the people get takedowns on them. And there's a few more that you can stack together to really help fine-tune your ability to get those takedowns, like Stun Mastery, increasing the stun damage of all attacks by 15%, or Heroic Combat Boost, where you get 1% extra heroic charge for every single light and heavy attack that you perform. And getting all these heroic orbs makes it so that even if you make a mistake and your Brooklyn Brawler runs out, you can just restart it and go right back into the Brooklyn Brawler mode, and then just keep getting takedown after takedown after takedown. This is just an absolutely unstoppable Captain America build, and all you gotta do is pick a couple of specializations. Stack on top of that the 15% extra chance to get heroic orbs from headshots, and then some guaranteed heroic orbs from your steamroller ability, and you're gonna have heroic orbs just dropping left and right, which, you know, is not only powerful for you, but it's also useful for the rest of your team. If you're playing with your actual squad, your friends will be able to pick up these heroic orbs, and everybody's gonna be able to use their heroic abilities on the regular, and you guys will be an unstoppable squad of Avengers. But the only thing you're really going to want to watch out for are those spin synthoids. Since they can drain your ultimate charges, you're going to want to make sure you actually use the abilities before you get hit with a spin attack. As long as you activate Brooklyn Brawler before you get hit with that spin attack, it's not going to prevent you from starting it. And it doesn't drain your remaining Brooklyn Brawler time by getting hit with a spin droid attack. thankfully so. So as long as you start your Brooklyn Brawler before the spin synth droids actually start firing and hitting you with those synths, then you're gonna have a good time. Oh, there's something I forgot to mention before. Those shield attacks that I talked about earlier can even stagger the big boys, like those adaptoids and the exosuits. So even the largest enemies in the game, even the villains, your villain sector bosses in the form of currently Taskmaster and Abomination, can also be staggered by those intrinsic shield attacks. And so all of these things combined make Captain America one of the best hands down brawlers in the game. He might not be a straight up tank along the lines of Hulk, but he can definitely stand toe to toe with the amount of damage that he can do, and then combine that with this unlimited takedown capacity you can get from using these couple of specializations to go with Brooklyn Brawler, and Captain America is absolutely unstoppable. And even without that Brooklyn Brawler, almost what feels like an exploit, Captain America is one of the only heroes that has a built-in ability to stagger enemies that have overshields on, and even those largest enemies in the game with the adaptoids and the exosuits and dreadbots and such being staggered by Captain America's intrinsic shield blows. Well, I hope you guys learned something from watching this video. If you did, drop a like on it, really helps out the channel. And consider subscribing to Mediocre if you want to stay up to date on everything Marvel Avengers. If you guys haven't seen it and you want to know where to farm some of the best gear in the game, click on the videos you see on your screen right now. In the meantime, I'm not amazing, I'm just mediocre, and I'm out.